So when I went back to do this research, I went back to get my PhD, and I kept hearing people, oh, this triggers me, that triggers me. And I said, your mind and body are not negative. They're not going to
No,
attack you. They're trying
no.
to protect you.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes in and says, oh, I have anxiety, I have depression, whatever it is, I say, well, that's a symptom. That's
Hmm.
not what you have. That's a symptom of a problem. So
Yes.
let's figure out why would your mind get anxious? It doesn't wake up one day and say, well, let's just mess up Alejandra's life and start making her anxious for no
Yeah.
reason. Drive her
Why not?
crazy. Yeah, she'll just keep chasing all over trying to find it out. There's a reason why. And I've got a very different approach even to depression. I say depression is a function of the brain, not a dysfunction. And people go, well, how could it be a function? And I said, if your mind is trying to resolve a problem and you don't resolve the problem and you continue to loop and feel the pain, right, of this trauma or whatever it is you're dealing with, and your mind can't solve the problem because the problem doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's an old event, but your mind keeps looping through it in real time. So how does your mind protect you? It shuts down. It stops using the emotions that you've been experiencing to protect you from the pain.
Yeah.
That's a function of the brain, not a dysfunction. So then they'll put you on a whole bunch of SSRIs, things like that, because they're saying, oh, we got to boost your serotonin. No, that's not the problem. And so, anyway, so it's just a very different way. And I give a lot of science and education about why our minds do what they do. It always has a purpose, and it's trying to get some sort of an action. What's the action? And a lot of times it's a glitch, it's an error message. So if you got hurt when you were younger and your mind keeps looping through that trauma, it's seeing that trauma in real time and it's trying to get you to run or fight or do something. But
Yes.
it's old data. It doesn't exist anymore. But your mind doesn't know that.
Right. You can't distinguish the difference. Yeah.
No. Hollywood has made trillions of dollars from this. They can
Oh,
convince us in a movie theater that what's on the screen is real.
yeah.
Memory is seen the same way. It
Mhm.
looks real. So your mind is going to call for an action. So I always use the story of if you're compare your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind, as you're sitting in a movie theater, goes, oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's playing in a movie called Titanic. And your subconscious survival brain goes, Jack's going to die. And it'll try to create some sort of an emotion to get you into an action to save Jack
Yes.
because it's not okay with it. And as long as that loop is running, creating these glitches and error messages, you're going to continue to experience the symptoms.
Right.
So all we have to do is get to that loop and reset it,
Yeah.
reboot the system.
Reboot it.
Yep. And
Love.
I was funny because when I saw that you had the 180 method, I said, that's opposed to what they do right now, which is the 360 method.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
I'm going to give you the 360 method. Oh my gosh, I'm right back where I started. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Which is, yeah, ridiculous that we just fall into that. But there you go. There's a reason behind it.
Yep. And I always say, God designed us to heal.
Yes.
What's interfering with our healing, right? This glitch, this error message that keeps running in the background.
Right.
And all we have to do is get to it. And it's a lot simpler than people think. Well, as soon as I saw your 180 method, I said, "Oh, that's really good because you only had to go halfway rather than take them through the whole
The whole
360. It's
thing.
actually simpler, right?"
It's way more simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, way more simple. But people are, and I think to your point of how the brain and the glitch happens, are addicted to that drama and the conflict of it.
Well, it becomes repetitive, and then we get stuck in it, and that's why people come in and they'll say to me, "Oh, I'm just my anxiety is so bad," and I'll say to them, "Are you taking any medication for it?" "Oh yeah, I'm on like 4 different medications." Okay, so you're on 4 different medications, and your anxiety's bad.
Right.
Yes. How's the
What does that tell
medication? What's
you?
it doing?
Yeah, what does that tell you?
And you know what they'll say? If I didn't take the medication, it'd be worse. No.
No.
So the medication's obviously not helping you because the medication's just trying to block that Google search of the memory that keeps activating your nervous system. But that's not the solution to the problem. That's like going into an emergency room with a broken leg and they stick a needle and put morphine in you and then send you home. And you go, oh yeah, I'm okay now.
I feel so much better.
I feel so much better. And then tomorrow you're like, oh my God, I think I broke my leg again. No, it's just always been broken. They just never fixed it. They never said it.
Masked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I see it all the time. So I'm not saying that medication can help in times, but it shouldn't be a lifestyle.
Right. I often say like you don't want to camp out there and build a home. You don't build your home or your structure there permanently.
Yep. No. because then that's the only way that you can manage through the day, and it
Mhm.
really doesn't manage you through the day. And I
Yes.
see so many people get stuck in that kind of a thing. So
That's the dealing aspect of it, and people think, well, the magic pill that's going to make it all better, rather than actually doing the work to, which can be quite simple, like in 4 hours. And what you're saying, and with this 180 method, it also happens very quickly. Not in 4 hours, because there's some deep emotional healing that someone goes through, but it does happen a whole lot quicker than the 360 that you were in constantly.
right. Yep.